You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
We're not here to talk about good music. We're here to talk about bad movies.
That's right.
And what was my challenge to you, sir?
It was Sphere.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Based on the idea that, like the previous film, Virus, there are scenes in which the people in the enclosed environment have to talk to the alien life form via a computer.
That's right. That's right. So
do you want to give the basic plot to Sphere?
Well, we can give a quick rundown, then play the trailer, and then when we come back from that, we'll actually review it. But The basic plot is Dustin Hoffman's character. He writes an article about if they were ever to
study.
Yeah, the White House asked for, or the Bush administration. They actually made a point to say that the Bush administration asked for it.
Well, in the book, it was the Carter administration, so it's just whatever previous administration there was.
Oh, really? It was? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't really a direct dig on Bush. It was just time constraint.
Okay. Well, Bush was in office. No, he wasn't.
Right. He was the previous administration. That's what I'm saying.
Well, anyway, whatever. I don't care enough.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he writes this study about you would need a mathematician, an astrophysicist, you would need a psychologist, and a biologist if they were ever to encounter an alien life form, or a ULF, an unknown life form. And basically, it's become the Bible, or as Peter Coyote's character says, it's their Bible. So they get all of these people, they recruit them, and they send them underwater because they say 300 years earlier, or nearly 300 years earlier, a spaceship crashed into the ocean, and they want to study it.
Right, and
at the heart of this spacecraft is a perfect sphere. This golden CGI, because in the 90s, everything was CGI. They went crazy with it.
Like now.
Now, what the thing is, it's finally... No, I'm not defending it, but I'm just saying it's finally caught up to where if something is CGI'd, at least it looks good now.
Uh-huh.
Whereas back then, it didn't look so good.
So a small group of smart people descend into the depths of the ocean to study an alien life form in the shape of a sphere. Hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues.
Yes. Well, this is one of a number of Michael Crichton films. Now, let's differentiate. There's the Michael Crichton wrote and directed, and then there's the Michael Crichton based off his novels.
Yeah, and this is based off one of his novels.
Right. Now, may I be the first to say that Michael Crichton is an overhyped hack.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not a good writer.
I think obviously Jurassic Park is the biggest thing that's ever been adapted from him, and it was huge. And I think because of that, actually, I know, he got a ton of movies, and I think I mentioned this in last week's episode. He got a ton of movies made. A ton made because of Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that was done was Timeline in 2003.
Which is one of the least offensive of the Crichton films.
I've never seen it.
I've read a couple of his books. I'm not a fan of his. And what he basically does is he takes an interesting concept, lovingly surrounds it with a padding of cardboard cutout lame characters and an incomprehensible yet boring plot.
Right.
And then makes it palatable enough for a non-science fiction consuming mass audience who feel clever and smarter because they have read something that has been watered down. It's sci-fi watered down for the masses, and I'm not a sci-fi fan.
I like a lot of sci-fi, but I don't know if I would go so far as to say I'm not savvy enough for sci-fi.
Savvy.
I mean, I know I like what I like. I'm not gonna sit here and say,
don't apologize, sir. Just say
no. It's just like Aliens is the greatest sci-fi film ever made, and here's why. I don't do that.
Well, I'm even thinking from a literary perspective. I don't read much sci-fi. I've read sci-fi, and I have some sci-fi I've read I like, but I'm not a sci-fi fan.
Right.
Just like I'm not a fantasy fan. I'm more contemporary literature. The few sci-fi fantasy I do like are like Hitchhiker's Guide. They're more humorous, smart ass.
You know what genre I'm a complete
genre.
I'm a complete sucker for.
Time travel.
That is my number 2. But I'll watch anything that's post-apocalyptic. I don't know why.
Isn't that a given though?
I mean, not everybody. It's kind of like it's really something you don't want to watch a lot of, like Threads. Who wants to watch Threads?
Me.
Well, yes. I mean, I love the movie. I own the BBC version, which is great.
You know what's great about post-apocalyptic films?
What's that?
It's like every single one has that character. The main character is always this like kind of grounded, rational human being,
right?
And they end up walking into this mad town full of crazies and dysfunctionals, and the leaders are all either completely evil, completely insane, or some combination of the two, and all they can do is try to remain rational within this mad chaos happening around them.
Right.
And that's how I feel every day. When I go to the grocery store, I feel like I'm Mad Max.
Really?
Going not because there's danger, but because I'm trying to comprehend what the hell the rules are and what's going on around me. I always feel like that guy who just came out of the wastelands. All I want to do is buy some new shoes. No, you have to play the game. Can I just get some shoes? And all of a sudden you're sucked into this weird kind of it's.
Well,
anyway.
I'll tell you what. With the way gas is going, we're not that far off from Mad Max. Eating dog food out of cans and putting bowls underneath cars when they explode to get what little gas is left.
That's a myth. Do you know how expensive dog food is?
Yeah, I own a dog.
There you go. So I'm not ramen noodles. You'll be eating, not dog food.
Well, listen, Mad Max ain't paying for that can of dog food. He's going to whatever grocery store that's still standing and pulling it off the shelf when it expired 15 years earlier.
All right, I'll give you maybe dog food will be the last thing left on the shelves because that's the last.
Because it's canned.
Choice. Well, that and it's the last food choice.
Well, I mean, you could easily find a can of Chef Boyardee as you could a can of dog food.
Well, now, but after the apocalypse, you understand what I'm saying is after all the food is taken, the last thing left is dog food and maybe, I don't know, I can't think of any food that's that abysmal.
Sushi.
I like sushi.
I've never had it, but everyone keeps telling me to try it. And I'm not opposed to trying it. I've never gotten around to getting it.
All right, anyway, sushi boy.
Anyway.
So Sphere falls in this category of bad Crichton sci-fi where it's an interesting concept that's been done before.
Mm-hmm.
And you name me a major film that's had the same for the concept is they find the sphere, and lo and behold, after much twisting of plot and machination and spoon-fed theories, you find out that the sphere is something or other that enables the characters who enter it to create things with their own mind.
Right. They can, what do they say? They keep saying that they have the power.
They have the power.
I've
got the power.
They have great power.
Great power.
Yeah, they can basically, anything that they think of, it will materialize and boom, it's there.
But as is always the case with man, because man is such a sordid, vile creation of nature, mankind screws it up by subconsciously bringing up all the wrong and evil in their minds.
Exactly.
Right.
I think Dustin Hoffman says at one point that they have this power. They're intelligent. They're educated. And all they did was just manifest horrible things.
Which is one of the biggest crutches of sci-fi. It's like one of the three major sci-fi themes that drive this pushes me away is the bludgeon over the head theme of mankind is inherently evil, and I'm not saying it's wrong,
Right.
but in a sci-fi theme, it always comes back to this kind of profound way of saying that man treads not what he dares and is not worthy of the intelligence he carries, and it's an old hat, it's an old wheeze, and so they discover that. Now, what classic film does the exact same thing? Can you guess what I'm thinking?
Are we going all the way down the plot?
Yes. Yeah, just basic plot of scientists creating things out of their subconscious.
Oh,
come on. Give you a hint. Leslie Nielsen.
Subconscious scientist.
What the id, sir? The id.
The id?
Forbidden Planet, man. Forbidden Planet.
Oh God, you're right. Fuck, how did I not get that?
I don't know.
Well, the last time I saw Forbidden Planet, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through.
Robbie the Robot?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through.
Will 50 gallons be sufficient? Yeah, that's the whole thing with the mad scientist. Oh, it's your id, it's your own creature. You're making that because man was not meant to wield such power because man is weak. Man is, and it just got so tired of being told I'm weak and evil. Outside of work, outside of school, it's you know what I mean? Do you agree?
I agree.
So
I agree.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say it's ironic. I was just going to talk about the budget real quick. This film cost exactly the same amount as My Challenge to You, A Virus. It cost $75 million.
No, this one cost over $100 million. I saw.
No, I'm on the wiki page. It says 75.
Really? Because
it only made 37. It was a huge bomb.
On Rotten Tomatoes, it says Barry Levinson directed this $100 million plus.
Maybe with print and advertising.
Yeah, you think they're counting print and advertising? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the movie poster too, which is also almost identical to the Virus poster. It
really is.
It's the floating heads.
Blue. It's blue.
Right? And just like the Virus trailer, it's like the floating heads, and then they show where it takes place. But but the title entity is not in the poster. There's no sphere in the poster.
No, it's actually around the words has like half an ellipse.
There's parentheses.
Essentially, that's all it is parentheses. But that's what they're going for.
Which is what the film should have been in, because it's that subdued of a film.
Yeah, it sure is. You hit the nail on the head with that one.
You can compare it to, and I was surprised that Rotten Tomatoes has got 12%. It was not well received.
No. Here, actually, I'll pull up the IMDb and tell you what it did there.
My favorite smartass review.
Yeah.
There's always one or two reviewers that have to do the clever play on the name of the title.
Oh, sure.
So the annoying clever play on the name award goes to Todd McCarthy for Variety, whose review was An Empty Shell. You win, Todd. You cheese nut.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a review by our favorite guy.
Oh, Stephen Whitty.
I don't think Stephen Whitty reviewed this.
Well, you know what? I have a review. It's a user review. And it's got 5.7 on IMDb. I'm actually going to read this. It's very short, and this person loved the movie. And I always like reading these because it always gives an idea of why they love the movie. So, okay, here it goes. This is also from October of 2002. After reading many users' mixed comments on the movie, I can't help but feel that a majority have underrated the film. True, it could have been better, especially in the latter half. But having read the book first, I did not feel it actually falling off. There's another person that can't type. I did not feel it actually falling off midway like the other viewers have described it. People who have read the novel will acknowledge that the movie does follow the novel fairly closely. Thus, comments about Hoffman's role and the ending are unfair, since I feel that they are the closest big screen reproductions of one of Crichton's best works.
Okay. Wrong and wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel Stone's character was the role followed the... God.
Just read it as it says. Just read it as it's written.
I feel Stone's character was the role followed the weakest. Nobody proofreads.
Right.
Definitely the giant squid thrills are insufficient. Note that Crichton devoted a good part of the novel describing encounters with the monster. Yeah, that's another thing the film did. It chaptered itself. Kind of like the book.
Yeah, you know when you do that? You do that when you have a weak screenwriter that can't like write a cohesive storyline.
And in doing that, it tries to make itself look smart.
Kind of like Kevin Smith with Clerks.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I guess animation artists were short budgeted, though the film as a whole still is a visual treat, and the atmosphere is rightly captured with nice music. With nice music.
With a nice with loud report.
A full orchestra. Nice music. Overall, I think the movie is worth watching and is definitely of a much higher caliber than The Lost World.
Wrong and wrong.
What? Where the fuck did that come from? Oh, because it's Crichton. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Although, Lost World was a better movie. Anyway,
you are incorrect, sir.
It follows a psychological sci-fi thriller theme.
Oh, that was the Avatar porn.
Yeah. And I feel it's better than the similar flick, The Abyss. This person is wrong again.
Wrong, sir. Why are you reading these wrong? Why are you reading these wrong people, sir? The right people are in this room. Why are you reading the wrong person?
As from the novel's point of view, it could have been done better, though. 8 out of 10 stars.
Okay.
This is a person that we would meet that would try and convert us to like the film, and then I think we would verbally bludgeon this person to death.
Here's the problem. This is the kind of film, and I will say that after I challenged it to you, I went back and started watching it and said to myself, I may have missed on this. This isn't that bad. And as you watch it, you have to be a bit critical and think to yourself, okay, why is this got a 12% tomato rating? And why is this considered a bad movie? And you got to actually be critical of it. And the problem is these people that go in and watch a film like that, and they just go along with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. They got the entertainment out of it. It's fine. But then when you come back and go, that movie sucked. But why? So you're challenging them.
Right.
So there's two things to do. They can either say, oh, well, maybe you're right, or they can defend their view. But our problem is we as a people have lost the perspective of knowing when to defend your view and when not. What is worth defending? Is my belief in whatever religion or politics I choose to follow worth defending? Perhaps. Is Avatar worth defending? No. It's a movie I saw on cable like 2 years ago, and now you're telling me I was wrong for liking it, even though I'm not telling you you're wrong for liking it. Is that worth defending? Apparently it is.
Apparently it is.
And that's what, and that's where it falls apart. Because people say, "Well, it wasn't that bad." So that's not a review. That's an excuse.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I watched the first half, and I just thought this really isn't that bad. But then you're right; it just genuinely gets worse and worse and worse, all the way to the shitty ending.
Well, you know why? Because you're watching some great actors in what has been revealed as a lot of improvised dialogue.
Oh, was it really? I didn't know that.
A lot of the conversations between Samuel L. Jackson and Hoffman, and those the scenes where they're talking about Todd and that kind of stuff, those were improvised.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why you got actual realistic dialogue banter going, is because whoever wrote the screenplay
did a shitty job.
Right, and was that Crichton?
It was Kurt Wimmer.
Wimmer. What else has Wimmer done?
It's going to be your movie challenge, so we'll get to that.
Oh, anyway, so I'm not going to look it up then.
No, don't look it up.
That's why in the first half hour of the film, Jackson and Lieb Schreiber, who I love, and Hoffman, they lull you into liking the film.
You know what?
What?
I apologize. Kurt Wimmer did not write your challenge.
Okay.
He almost wrote your challenge.
Okay.
But we'll get into it.
But they lull you into liking them because they're great actors and they exude personality.
Uh-huh.
And so you're lulled into liking them and believing that the movie is the reason you like them. No, you like the actors. You don't like the movie. The movie sucks.
The movie was terrible.
Yes. And that review is correct. It does fall apart in the end. And I've read the book. The book falls apart in the end too.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah. Now, there's one aspect of the ending in the book, at the end. Now, let's attack the ending.
Okay, let's do that.
What's your feelings on the ending?
My feelings on the ending, it just when it ends, I was just hoping for a little bit more.
So it was lackluster. It was like a...
Yeah, I mean, are we going to ruin the ending?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody, here's a spoiler.
You know why? Because there's no ending the ruin.
There really isn't, but we're going to throw out a spoiler so that you can fast forward or
Yes.
Or just wait till you hear music, then you'll know we're in break.
Can I?
Go for it.
Realizing that they have this, that all three of them have gained this power by entering the sphere through some way that is unknown to any of us.
Yeah, there's no door anywhere.
Now there's in the book there was a door.
There was a door.
In the book, yeah.
So why wasn't there a door in the film?
Because it looks better. Because it's CGI. Because there's no reason.
What? I bet in 1998 when it was made, CGI was really only really used a lot for about 7 years or so.
Do you remember
I bet CGIing a door. You're right. I bet it looked like shit.
Do you remember not the Last Starfighter, the Flight of the Navigator?
The Last Starfighter. I think you're right.
No, Flight of the Navigator. I'm thinking Flight of the Navigator.
The Disney one.
Yeah. If they could CGI steps on that ship, they could have CGI'd the sphere as it was in the book.
Well, you do know the Last Starfighter had CGI in it too, right?
Yeah, I know.
It had a ton of it.
But I misspoke.
It was actually
think of the Navigator.
They were actually they were creating all that CGI on Craze. It was Craze servers, which were just ridiculously expensive and huge. Because it's all on the special edition DVD. If anybody has it, it's really interesting to see what CGI looked like in I think that was 81. Crap. Some of it didn't look that bad.
No, of course not. All of it did. Is whenever they tried to overstep the bounds,
right,
of what they could do then. But I sidetracked. I'm sorry.
We did.
The three surviving members, who are ironically the three faces on the poster. Go figure.
Yeah.
I don't know how it could be giving away the ending of this. If you saw the movie poster, you have a feeling that these three people might make it. Yeah. Having realized that they still have the power bestowed upon them by the sphere, they decide that it is too much for mankind to handle, too much for them to handle.
And they don't trust themselves either.
Right, don't trust themselves. And it's definitely too much for the evil military to handle. Again, I don't disagree with it, but it's a hackneyed plot point. They decide that the only way to avoid giving this unleashing this power upon the earth is to, quote, forget.
Yeah, blank their minds
with
the power.
So they hold hands and forget that the sphere is down there, and the sphere, feeling rejected, flies away.
Flies into space.
Right.
Yeah, that's a real shitty ending, and you just feel left out. You feel like there should be something else happening, and it doesn't. And then the credits roll, and that's it.
The credits roll. And what do you want to attack the logic of that ending at all?
Well, I think they were trying to go about it in, dare I say, an intelligent way of trying to end this film so that you, as the audience member.
Now, let's be fair. This is also Crichton trying to think of an intelligent way to end the book.
Now, is this also how the book ended?
Yes.
It is how the book ended.
With one caveat: in the book, in the film, all three of them forget, and that's the end. In the book,
the sphere leaves.
What?
The sphere leaves. It goes back into space.
No, in the movie, the sphere goes back into space.
That's what I mean.
In the book, they don't show anything about the sphere leaving. But at the end, after they all agree to forget, and everybody walks out, the girl kind of smirks.
Like she didn't...
Implying that the treacherous female has kept the power.
Oh, the power.
So apparently Crichton is a misogynist, too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So looker.
He's a looker!
She's a looker!
We have to get to the looker lab.
The looker lab.
How come I don't have that as a ringtone yet? I got to get on the ball here.
I know. And one of the problems that I had with the film is that they tended to repeat... Oh, go ahead.
No, it's down the ending, because I wanted to make this point.
Sorry about that.
What are your feelings on the logic of that choice?
You mean, why did Crichton write it that way?
No, in the film. We're attacking the film's logic. Does that ending make sense to you?
Of course not.
Why?
Because no one would give up power like that.
Okay, that's one way to attack it. Here's my angle on this, and I agree with you there, too.
I sure as hell wouldn't, because I'm not thinking of snakes.
You know what?
I'm thinking of hot babes.
Well, congratulations, sir. You've taken us down into the gutter faster than I could possibly have tried. But what I'm getting at is the
Better
logic
luck next
behind this.
time.
What?
Better luck next time.
Oh, believe me, it's always a neck and neck race.
Uh-huh.
The idea is, okay, we have this power that we can't control because it's in our subconscious, right?
Uh-huh.
So they say, okay, we're going to forget. So we're going to wish it away. We're going to wish this power into the cornfields. So using the power to negate itself. However, we have just proven throughout the film that they, one, have no control over the power.
The power.
And two, that the power rests in their subconscious.
Right. So even if they forget, they're probably going to remember at some point.
Right, so
like, shit, I just thought of a fucking cappuccino and it's right here.
It's if they cannot control this power which lies dormant in their subconscious, how can they consciously eradicate it? Considering the fact that the main character is a psychologist or psychiatrist, and the whole film was supposed to be about the psychiatric components of people, the ending defies all psychiatric logic. You cannot just forget your subconscious. These are these emotions they couldn't control and that were buried in the subconscious level. Oh, but we're just gonna forget it. That is the quickest therapy lesson ever. And also, if they can't control this power and they couldn't control it in the down below, how did they control it while they spent 5 days decompressing in the tub?
Yeah. Because they were down there. They got stuck down there because of a storm.
Yeah, and this is not a blame. This is not a blame. The movie logic problem. This is blame Mr. Sci-Fi writer problem. This is a Crichton flaw. All of his films have this logical flaw that the mass audiences overlook. Oh, look, they've created a technology to create lifelike humans that you can hardly tell are robots. What do we do with it? Let's open a theme park. Hey, look, we've cloned dinosaurs. What do we do? Let's open another theme park.
Yeah.
We're going to this is going way back to the Terminal Man. We have the technology to implant a computer in somebody to help control their brain functions to eliminate their seizures. Who do we get? Let's get the guy who believes that robots are taking over the Earth. Great idea. Let's do it. There can't be any psychological trauma involved with that. Now,
we're not saying that Crichton's films or book to film, they're any good. They've all sucked. I don't think I've seen one other than I still like Jurassic Park. I know you have your thing about it, but
I got the list right here. Let's go down the list.
Okay.
Andromeda Strain.
Yeah, no.
I'm skipping that one. The Carrie treatment, never saw.
Wait, you're skipping that one?
Dealing, or the Berkeley to Boston 40 Brick Lost Bag Blues. What's your thoughts?
Wait. You're skipping that one, meaning the Andromeda Strain?
No, I'm skipping the one after the Andromeda Strain because no one's heard of it.
Oh, well then say that.
I just said next one. I'm skipping that.
Oh, fine. Okay.
Carrie treatment, A Case of Need. Never. It's a Blake Edwards movie. I've never seen it.
Never. Just go with the ones people are gonna know.
Right, Terminal Man.
Yeah. No. Pass.
The First Great Train Robbery. That's actually that's not sci-fi.
Nope.
All right, it's all downhill from here. And these are just actually.
When do you get the looker?
Well, I'm just doing books adapted.
Books adapted. Okay.
All right. Books adapted. Jurassic Park.
Monster hit.
Crap.
I liked it.
Bad movie.
I still like it. It's a bad movie, but I like it.
No, yeah, there's enjoyable scenes in it, but it's crap. Rising Sun.
Oh God, Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
God, that movie was terrible.
Disclosure.
Michael Douglas, Demi Moore, sexual harassment, but
Michael
the
Douglas,
opposite.
I was raped. Shut the fuck up.
Just fucking take it, all right?
Yeah. Oh, I took the blowjob, but I'm still the victim here. Shut up. America as a whole said, "Come on."
Exactly. When that movie came out, I was like, "Really? This is where you're going with this?"
What's the Indecent Proposal was more realistic than that.
Yeah.
Congo,
where they kill Bruce Campbell in the first 10 minutes.
But they don't really tell you that they killed him until the last 10 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
We went to the theater, and after that happens, like, come on, it's Bruce Campbell. He's got to be in there somewhere. We're watching the whole film, waiting for him to jump out like in a loincloth. Like, come on, guys, this way. And then they show his cheesy, not Bruce Campbell corpse at the end. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
That film just like sucked all the hope out of you by the end.
Yeah, that was
after
a
that,
terrible
The Lost
movie.
World.
Jurassic Park, then The Lost World.
Well, this is after Congo was The Lost
that's
World.
right. That's right. That came out in 97.
Right, and that wasn't that bad.
No, I didn't think it was that bad.
I like that film for a lot of the reasons people hated it.
Like, the dinosaur eats the dog.
Loved. Oh God, I don't have I told that story on the show.
Where the fucking yeah.
Chuck and
No,
Chuck and I.
I don't think so.
Chuck, great old friend of mine, Chuck and I are sitting. We're sitting together in a film, and we have this hatred for the cliches, and so they show the dog barking, like, oh, this old wheeze, oh yeah, and then the kid looks out, and then there's the doghouse hanging by the chain
Just
from the dinosaur's
swinging
mouth.
side to side. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and we're like, yes, he killed the dog, yes. And I just happened to turn around, and behind me there's this little kid, probably 8 years old, sitting behind me, and he looks up and like a single tear rolls down his cheek.
Oh my God.
Like, I am such a bad person. But also, I remember a lot of people criticizing that film. It's like, how come he has a black daughter? I was like, what,
Oh.
Is this 1957? He's allowed. Why should he not have a black daughter? What are you trying to say? He likes the mocha. How is that that's the plot point you're lost on?
Well, and with any little research, you know that's a Spielberg thing. Because
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Well, because he's adopted black children, and he did Amistad and all that. So he has, much like, for the Holocaust, because he's very big World War II. A lot of his films were World War II, and obviously because he's Jewish, it's a horrible thing that happened in history. So
White director, black daughter.
Well, he feels connected to kind of like the same thing with black people and the slavery and all that stuff. So that's a Spielberg thing,
yeah,
and that's why that was in the film. And to judge it or to shit upon it, I think is just stupid.
Well, it's just, and I also like the fact that what's his name's in it. He plays the
Jeff Goldblum. Oh, Vince Vaughn.
Thank you, Vince Vaughn's in it. He plays the activist, the animal rights activist, who turns out to be a complete dick.
Yeah,
he gets all these people killed because I don't want them shooting dinosaurs.
Well, let's be honest. It's Vince Vaughn.
Well,
he's that character in every fucking movie. I don't think I've ever seen a movie where he hasn't winked at somebody.
But I'm not holding that against him. I like the idea that
I am.
But they had the animal rights activist who turns out to be like not so smart, and then they have like the hunter guy who originally comes off as a villain, but you like him by the end because I was just hunting. You guys are trying to do some weird shit. Let's just kill the beast and move on. So that got a lot of shit. It's still a bad movie, but it had more redeemable aspects than the first one, I felt.
Okay.
Then I'm sorry, but we got sidetracked. Sphere.
Okay.
All right. 13th Warrior.
Eaters of the Dead.
Love that film.
I still like that movie.
And then Timeline, which.
So I should say, yes, there is one film that I truly did enjoy.
Right.
I like Jurassic Park. I know it's a bad film, but I liked it. But Eaters of the Dead or The 13th Warrior, I think, is all around. It's just a good movie.
Now, here's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the films based on his writing.
Right.
Let's look at what he actually wrote.
Oh.
Pursuit. TV film. Ignore that. Westworld.
Okay.
Shite.
Yes. We talked about that last week.
I don't care how famous it is, how much people grew up with it. It's a horrible, stupid, it makes no sense. The one thing I'll point out in that film... No, I'm going to save it because we're going to cover that in an episode.
Okay.
All right, Coma.
Never heard of it.
Stupid. And it's a stupid movie.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. Stupid.
All right.
It comes off as like an intelligent idea. It's a dumb idea.
It's a dumb idea.
It's the whole idea of like the coma patients and like the whole setup they have hanging them by wires. Stupid. All right.
Dumb. Okay.
Skip the Great Train Robbery. No one cares. Looker.
She's a looker.
Looker. What episode is that, Joey?
That was episode 9, I believe.
Just go back and listen to episode 9. That'll fill you in on that. Runaway. After that.
Oh God. And we did talk about Runaway in that episode too.
But we didn't
review it.
Yeah.
But we talked about it.
And that was sucked. Physical Evidence. Then he directed that only, so that doesn't count. Then Jurassic Park he co-wrote, which sucked. Rising Sun he co-wrote, which sucked. And then Twister he co-wrote, which sucked.
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
He's a bad writer.
But you know what? Twister was a huge success, so it just
great
fueled
so was Avatar.
the fire. Yes, it was.
All right. But I had to get that off my chest. He's a shitty writer, and the ending to Sphere sucked. But I stepped. It's your challenge, not mine. I stepped on your toes there.
That's okay. No, it's your challenge. Oh, you challenged me.
Challenged
Gotcha.
you, yeah. So what else do you have to say about the film?
I got nothing else to say about this movie.
I've been doing all the talking. Come on, man.
I know you have been.
Pony up.
Pony up?
It's your challenge.
You interrupt me every time I try and talk, and now I've forgotten everything I was probably going to say.
Didn't make copious notes. You said you had a page of notes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
Did you know?
Hold on. I got them right here. I've been getting slammed at fucking work.
Dude,
and
you know, I mean, and I'm not saying you haven't been. You know what my company does, right?
Yep.
Water restoration, water damage
Yeah.
restoration.
So you've been busy.
After Irene, yes. If by busy you mean just trying to figure out how to kill myself with a stapler, yes. Anyway.
Well, you know, I got in my notes, I got things like the Queen is dead. Like when Queen Latifah dies.
Well, how cool is that? They kill Queen Latifah. It's like, oh, well, there's one shining light in the film.
Well, one of the things that really bothered me about the film was the dialogue and how it was presented. And now that you said some of the scenes were ad-libbed and just on the fly, it makes a lot of sense now.
Because you can tell those scenes, and there's a discernible difference between the quality of the dialogue between what was written and what wasn't.
Right. I mean, because like when Queen Latifah is down at the bottom, right before she gets killed by all the squid, she must say that it looks beautiful like 4 times. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, man, this is beautiful. Oh, this is just so beautiful. Shut the fuck up.
Didn't she say?
Please.
Didn't she say it was snowing at one point?
Did she?
So say it's snowing. I was like, what is it? What?
It's snowing. You know what? I don't have a note about it. Doesn't mean she didn't say it, but it just means I didn't notice it.
Now,
but they do that a lot in the film, where the same thing is repeated a few times. Like even at the end, when Sharon Stone basically says, or they start talking about how they don't trust the government with the power that they have, then she starts talking about how she wants to let's all erase our mind. And Samuel L. Jackson says, why don't you trust the government? It's like, we just talked about that. In the scene before, we just talked about how we don't trust the government. Well, why are we mentioning it again?
Well, here's an example right along those lines, which doesn't happen in the book, but happens in the film. When Dustin Hoffman figures out, and we're not using the characters' names because no one cares. That's how little impact the characters have. You don't think of them as the characters. You think of them as Samuel Stone. Yeah. When Dustin Hoffman figures out that Samuel L. Jackson is the one that's been materializing the giant squid,
while he's sleeping,
he figures it out when he goes. He sees a copy of 20,000 Leagues that Samuel L. Jackson's been reading, picks it up because he dropped your book, and Samuel L. Jackson's already reading it. So there's 2 copies of it, and it kind of clues him in. It's like, oh wait, he's manifesting these books. He's the one doing this.
Right.
That's enough, right? That's enough for you, right?
That's enough.
That was enough for me.
Yep.
We then have like a whole minute and a half of Dustin going through cabinets and finding stacks of books everywhere. There's stacks in the corner. All the food cabinets are now full of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Do you get it? No? Well, we're going to do some quick cutting down, like it's an MTV video, which they did twice in the film, and it's totally not needed. Well, gee, there's more books. Is that enough? No, let's open another cabinet. So even visually, they do the same thing you're just talking about.
Yes, it's just repeated over and over and over and over. Just ridiculous.
Now, you know what the dialogue reminded me of in some scenes?
What's that?
I hate my head. The movie with the remember Aha? Remember the videos? Take Me On? Movie they're parroting when he slams against the walls.
Oh, Altered States.
Thank you. That's how my mind working tonight. Altered States. It reminds me of Altered States because I'm embarrassed as hell. That's how I had to remember the name of that film.
Through an Aha video.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing I'm here.
Yes, it is, because you saved me on this. That film, in part of the contract, was when they adapted the book that they had to keep all the dialogue from the book.
Oh, really?
So there's a lot of this. If you watch the film, there's a lot of very deep discussions on philosophy and history and anthropology, and they mask it in the film by having them do other activities while they're talking, have them eating while they're talking, just anything to distract from what they're saying, because it is a lot of very dry language.
So Crichton really believed in his dialogue? Is that what you're telling me?
No, what I'm saying, it reminded me of that because there's these scenes where they're trying to give all this information to the audience, but they're trying to do it without seeming like they're giving information to the audience.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And
It's a distraction, but it's
it's a film.
It's so you're not putting them to sleep.
Right, but the problem is, it's a film that it's a film that wants to be The Abyss, or it wants to be like, an underwater monster movie, but
Like
it's
Leviathan.
Even better, but its foundation is being an intelligent philosophical sci-fi thriller, supposedly. So it's trying to get all of this thought and theory and philosophy into the film, but that's all annoying because what we want to see is people killed every 15 minutes.
This is true.
So it's almost like a schizophrenic movie. It's like the film's subconscious is materializing all this horror, but the film's upper brain says, okay, let's just talk about number theory.
Okay. Right. You're right.
Hey,
I'm so tired of reviewing this movie.
Well, do you want to take out the trash?
Let's take out the trash.
Okay. Do you have the...
I don't have sound.
God
dude,
damn it.
I've been fucking hammered at work.
I wanted a trash heap. All right.
I do have the trash heap, but isn't that for when we're done? Because we have already spoken.
Oh, you're right then. Okay, fine.
No, I'm working on an audio file. Audio file. Listen to me. I'm working on a sound file that's going to pretty much open the take out the trash. It's got some cool scenes in it.
Oh,
it's not done.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm glad I don't have a lot to offer to this.
What do you got?
Well, I just thought it'd be cool if like Titanic 2, in this film, they recreated that scene from The Abyss.
Uh-huh.
That would have been nice.
Oh, where Ed Harris is on top of what's her face,
right,
where she's like frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, also in the sphere, when they finally look inside the sphere, instead of there being nothing like Samuel L. Jackson says, it actually should have been Jodie Foster from Contact. So I finally found you guys.
Another movie I didn't like.
With good reason, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I think it would have improved the film if Queen Latifah didn't die.
Okay.
And that's really it. I just think she would have been added to the...
I think Samuel L. Jackson should have played the whole film as Jules from Pulp Fiction.
Well, then Dustin Hoffman should have played Rain Man.
That would have been awesome.
Sharon Stone should have played...
What's her face from Basic Instinct?
There you go.
Dude, that's a 4-star movie for me. That would be fucking awesome.
I said 20 million leagues in the sea, motherfucker. Have you read it?
Yeah, definitely read it. Definitely read it.
Say Jerry one more time, motherfucker. I dare you.
Well, where'd this ice pick come from? There's everywhere. Every drawer has ice picks.
I went to the alien ship. We were out of ice. Also, at the end, when now what the lackluster ending. Everyone hates the ending. They hold hands and they wish away the power. There are so many other things they could have done when they held hands. They could have turned to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
They could have.
That would have been awesome. They could have wished themselves into Jurassic Park.
Could have.
But that you can't do that, though, because Samuel L. Jackson's in that film, too.
Yes, he is.
You can't have two Samuel L. Jacksons in the same film.
Does it be like Time Cop, where they can't get next to each other?
Right.
If they touch, they'll merge.
Yeah, and especially you can't have a smoking Samuel L. Jackson and a non-smoking Samuel L. Jackson in the same film.
This is true.
That's like evil opposite. They'll actually repel each other from that point. Now, also what they could have done to make the film a bit more enjoyable, when they hold hands to wish it away, it could have like rewound back to the beginning of the film, like nothing ever happened. But this time they go down, and it's, instead of a sphere, it's a dodecahedron.
A what?
A dodecahedron.
What the fuck is that?
It's has a few more angles in it, and but the problem is the movie poster had to be a lot wider to fit the whole name there.
Oh,
instead of sphere, it'd be dodecahedron.
Uh,
Oh,
okay.
Oh, and we were talking about characters playing them playing other characters in the film.
Yes.
Liev Schreiber should have played the crossdresser from Mixed Nuts.
He could have played Sabretooth.
I
But that actually, you know what? All of this had to be previous to Sphere.
Yes.
Because that came out way after Sphere.
Yeah. And I honestly, I think the crossdresser has more potential for just all around hijinks.
Peter Coyote could have reprised his character from The Legend of Billie Jean, where he plays the cop trying to catch her.
And Queen Latifah could have been Billie Jean.
She could have been.
At the end,
just running around the ship. You can't get me.
And she doesn't die, but at the end, when they escape in the sub, she escapes on the dirt bike.
On the yeah.
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 As a matter of fact, I think they should remake The Legend of Billie Jean with Queen Latifah.
Oh no! See, we're joking.
No, I'm dead serious. I think
You're dead serious.
Reboot that and turn it into an urban comedy.
I still like The Legend of Billie Jean.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying they should remake it with Queen Latifah and Come
on, Denzel Washington.
The brother should be played by what's his name from 30 Rock?
Alec Baldwin.
The black character.
Oh, the black.
The Queen Latifah. How is Alec Baldwin your brother? How is he going to be her younger brother who gets in trouble?
I don't know.
In the remake of Billie Jean, Alec Baldwin. Steve Martin could be her father. What are you talking about?
Hey, you're killing me
the unfunny black man from 30 Rock.
Yeah, I'm getting it because I can't think of it. I'm like dead this week.
The half of the half of the unfunny duo from Cop Out.
Cop Out. That's right. I'm looking it up because I can't fucking think of it. I'm sorry.
The one that humorously mentioned on stage that he'd kill his son if he was gay because that's funny.
Yeah. What is your name, sir? Tracy Morgan.
Yes, that's
Wow, that was a long trip around the whole fucking world.
Yeah. And then
Holy
you get Morgan
shit.
Freeman with him
play
his alter ego, and it could be Morgan Freeman.
Tracy Morgan Freeman. Okay.
And now we have just created the ultimate Sphere film, aka Dodecahedron Billie Jean's saga continues.
There
you go.
So is that? Are we done
with
taking out the trash?
We have taken out the trash.
The trash heap has spoken. Yeah.
Very good. Very
and
good.
I feel like we've actually made a difference in the world now.
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
I think we've probably hurt the world a little bit.
I hope so, because the world hurts me.
It does. It hurts me too.